In this demonstration, I am going to use a Gelli Print that I made to layer on some collage material and modeling paste. So in a previous video, I made a Gelli Print of what appear to be rocks or eggs using making an impression with this tile piece. So here's what I've got. And I had to do a little bit of work ahead of time. So I want to glue some collage material on there. Normally I would recommend Mod Podge, but for expediency's sake, I'm going to just use a glue stick to get this imagery down there. So I found this bird in a magazine. And really, I want to focus on just different ideas, not whether this is a great picture or not. So these could be rocks, they could be eggs. I think I'm going with the egg theme since it's a bird. I cut up little pieces of other Gelli prints of feathers. So I'm going to put that in there. And since it's mixed media, I'm going to do a little bit of drawing with these watercolor pencils on here. And I'll be going over with modeling paste, and I'll see if any of this shows up as I put modeling paste on and do what I call excavation. So this is a little more complicated than my Monday video. I decided to trace all of these objects and make a stencil out of file folder. So I obsessively cut all these out. I am going to scrape in some modeling paste there with different texture and pattern. And hopefully they'll look like bird eggs, is my general idea. Okay, so now modeling paste. I'm using this Liquitex brand. I think Golden makes some as well. And basically, I can mix any color in there of acrylic paint, and it gives the paint a little more body, so I can build it up. The painting will have kind of a sculptural element. Okay. Same as mixing paint, I scoop and flip over. So I get more volume, and the color really doesn't change that much. Maybe a little bit lighter, but not much. So I've got the color blended in there. And now I have choices. I can just, again, it's that 45-degree angle. I can glob it on straight. I'll lift that up so you can see it. I can glob it on straight. That's what that'll look like. I can scratch through. Again, if I don't like it, just cover over it. I can do a little bit of sgraffito. I'm going to use this comb I found when I was cleaning out the closet. I could just take a comb and create texture that way. Let's see, I'm going to use this netting I've used before from a bag of limes. So I can find mesh things like this that then I can push the modeling paste through. I'm going to do part of it on this piece right here. Let me make a different color. Okay. Go with this neutral color here. Okay, here's a stencil I purchased that has dots on it. Just put that on top, scrape through. We'll lift this up for a second. Okay, so that I like that. I like those speckles on that egg. Going to do another one. Here's a stencil. It's got many designs on it. Okay, I'll pick another. I'm going to go green now. So getting all of this raised patterning. And then I can carve back certain sections so that's a little more transparent. Let's say I go over the bird or the photograph. There it's completely covered over. I could pull some out. So I see a bit of the tree. Cover over part of the feather. Pull this off, and then I'll do a little bit more work on this. Okay, so now I have I'll call them the eggs stand out more from that dark background. I could let's say I don't have a stencil. Then you can just glob on directly to the best of your ability. You could use a paintbrush. You could use, let's see. You might choose to use a smaller palette knife so you could get into some of these tighter areas. Again, I'm not going for great painting here. I'm just going for ideas. So there, I've pretty much destroyed my image, but I can carve in with the side of my palette knife. Bring some of that image back. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now, and then this would dry, and then I could add even more paint. So I'm going to show you on the one I did on Monday. Okay, so here's all of the modeling paste I added. So if I want to add more paint, I can do a couple things. I'm going to try and stain in here with a darker fluid acrylic. If you don't have that, you could just add some water. Okay, then I take a rag. It's not staining as much as I might like, but I can wipe off that top surface. I'll try stain in here. Wipe off the top surface. I'm going to try something else. Okay. So I stained that, but it didn't wipe off very neatly. I'm going to dry brush over and see if those stained lines show up more. So again, dry brush, means no water. And then if I drag on top, those lines should show up more. It shows up better at the bottom. Works pretty well with this lime bag. And the purpose of dry brush is I've got two colors interacting. Okay, then what if I want to embed something? Just going to glob this on. Again, not going for a great piece here, just showing you different ideas. So I could glob some on, and then I could, these are just these little baggy ties. I can embed things like that. And it's like now it's a glue and a paint. I can glue things in there. I toyed with gluing in, a feather. I could do that. I could glue in, if I had some sticks, some small sticks, I could glue that in. It's all trial and error. So then I could glue in a bunch of those. Those colors become part of the composition. And then just wonder if I can embed it even more. I could. And then scrape across. It's like an archaeological dig. Now it's more embedded within the structure of the painting. Okay, so I pushed a different color of modeling paste in here, and then by scraping, that's very cool. By scraping, that other color is now embedded in that texture, that dried texture of modeling paste. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I like that quite a lot. It's a little bit hard to see, but I see the red line showing through. The blue paint pushed in. I'm going to play with that more. I like that.